We're back on the recording with our 3 teams in their temples, Team Dagda, Team Isis, Team Manan, and welcome all. And we are getting ready to throw down at this hoedown and create our sacred space. We will begin by grounding.
We're going to pass around some earth here, some dirt. Please, as it comes to you, close your eyes and put your hands over the top of it, maybe on the earth, and feel how it feels to touch the floor, to touch the ground, to be grounded here in this space at Gaia Community. And as we do this today, remember that everything is grounded at some point. Even flying machines, even bridges have a point where they have to touch the ground. So we are grounding ourselves because we are at a new beginning. At this new beginning, we want to be grounded when we choose our patron. As we hear from the people today, the various temples, may we be grounded. We are grounded.
As the saltwater spray touches you, imagine it floating from your head down to your toes, evaporating all the distractions of the outside world. Let us be unencumbered. As we consider the choice of patron the next year of Gaia Community. We are purified, we are purified, we are purified. Blessed be.
Blessed be.
Queen of Hecate, Goddess, we honor and acknowledge you this day. We hope to continue your tradition of mercy and intelligence and magic. We are thankful that you are with us today. Blessed be.
Blessed be.
And we take a moment to acknowledge Gaia, eldest of all beings, mother of us all, our constant patroness, our namesake, our guide and guardian. Be with us today, Gaia, as we continue our own traditions, as we decide who we will be and where we will go if we become. Hail Gaia.
Amen.
Now, let us continue to construct our sacred space by calling for peace between realms.
You may all repeat after me. We remember the earth and ask that the earth not rise up and, open up and swallow us.
We remember the earth and ask that the earth not open up and swallow us.
We remember the river and ask that the river not rise up and drown us.
We remember the river and ask that the river not rise up and drown us.
We remember the sky and ask that the sky not spin down upon us.
We remember the sky and ask that the sky not spin down upon us.
With our sacred space established, with our teams, our temples, and all of our participants here prepared, purified, grounded, let us invite our deities of the occasion.
Isis, I bless and purify your statue with natron. Isis, I light this candle in your honor. To welcome you to this temple. Isis, I offer incense that you may have sweet smells around you. Isis, I anoint your statue with sacred myrrh. Grace us with your presence today. Awake, 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 awake in peace.
Lady of peace, rise thou in power, rise thou in beauty, rise thou in peace. Goddess of life, beautiful in heaven, O goddess, daughter of Nut, daughter of Geb, beloved of Osiris, goddess rich with names, goddess of all goddesses, goddess of the crossroads, all praise to you, Lady Isis.
Isis, I pour this libation in your honor. Isis.
Hail Isis.
Dagda, king of the Tuatha De Danann, wise lord, master of magic. Dagda, giver of abundance, keeper of the cauldron, speaker of wise justice. Dagda, I invite you, I invoke you, I invite you to this place. Falcha and Dagda.
Patron,
Wave-browed Manannan, I call your name.
Manannan MacLear, Cain Adonna, Graham Huggett.
Through the mists, over the waves, across the boundaries of time and space, my voice goes flying straight to you.
Timple na go, Oskion na Donta, Trispas agus Nam, Curum suas mohant dirak ort.
Son of the sea, foster father and uncle, brother and husband, you who gather to yourself those who need protection from harm.
Mac mór na faraga, Uncle agus ahar ultramu, Jahar agus farcéla, Glacantú na pasti, agus déni is liachéli, Ishtach a hosint o damashti.
We welcome you to this place of found family and sanctuary.
Falcha midroad shan at show, I will carja gale tofa, agus charnan sawata.
Lend us your vision, captain of the wave sweeper, with the sun in our sails and the moon as our rudder. Let us ply the starry seas and sing to the sky our sailor's song.
Tour doin do ish, captain na scuba tuanya. Le shangriad in our sholta, le shangala kistura, lig doin sholteracht goti, faraga na realty. Canamish don spare our naran shoil.
Join your power to mine and be here now.
Manannan MacLear, Sholomar danam fei hri. Tour do react lin, be an show anish. Tamil falcha roat a Manannan MacLear.
Manannan MacLear, thrice have I named you. Be welcome. Welcome, Manannan.
Welcome, Manannan.
So let's address the walrus in the room. Why an ocean deity for us? I would say that Gaia community's tradition of the Blue River cleanup is deeply connected to oceans. Because if a river is going to do anything, it's going to find the sea. Mannanan once described to Bran that he didn't experience the sea so much as water, as a field with a profusion of flowers. And American mythology sings of our amber waves of grain. So I think more than anything, it's a matter of how big you think your boat is. And in the words of songwriter Peter Mayer, the wide universe is the ocean we travel, and the earth is our blue boat home. I first learned of Mannanan in the stories of Lugh Sewildenach, that golden boy of Irish mythology. Way back in the way back, the Dark King Baelor received a prophecy, like you do. And the prophecy was that his grandson was going to kill him and take his throne. And Baelor decided he would try to defy the prophecy, like you do, by casting the infant Lugh over a cliff and into the ocean. Mannanan fished the infant out of the crashing waves, brought him into his boat, and carried him to his island, which Mannanan had used magic to enshroud with a mist that obscured not only vision, but memory and awareness. For several years on this island, Mannanan stepped up into the role of foster father and mentor. He protected and guided Lugh and trained him, taught him combat, taught him magic, and some of the first few skills that Lugh would become legendary for. And when it was time for Lugh to enter into battle in his adulthood, he rode Mannanan's horse, carried Mannanan's sword, and wore Mannanan's helm. So in these stories, we see that Mannanan is generous with his protection, with his teaching, and with the gifts he offers to those who need them. So we've established that Mannanan is a formidable warrior, but he also employs diverse response strategies. I've talked about the mists, right? This is the fiada, and it's sometimes in stories as a veil or a cloak, but it's always protective. Again, way back in the way back, Mannanan was married to a fairy woman named Fand. Now, she entered life as a seabird, but in her human form, she was famed throughout the realms for her beauty. She was so beautiful that a young warrior named Cuchulainn of the Hounds decided he wanted her for his own, and he took her. Ooh, again. Now, when Mannanan found them, he would have been within his rights to exact some sort of violent revenge. But he didn't do that. He used his veil, cast it over Fand, and was able to take her away, back home, with no harm being done to anyone. It's possible that if you'd ask Cuchulainn about this story, he would tell it differently. But because of the Fes Fiada, he had no memory of it ever having happened, and had no memory that Fand even existed. So in this story, we see that Mannanan has some diverse response strategies, that he respects and protects privacy, and that he embraces nonviolence as an option. In addition to being the lord of the other world and being able to traverse across all the realms, Mannanan is also in touch with some shape-shifting powers. He's been seen as the wind, or described as a hawk or a swallow flying through the sky. And on the Isle of Man, there's even lore of him rolling across the land swiftly like a wheel on his 3 legs. Anyway. Uncle Mannanan is adaptable, is what I'm saying. In modern times, worship of Mannanan takes the form of paying your rent in acts of service, creation of beauty, and pursuit of excellence, all of which I think align really beautifully with our Unitarian values, no matter how landlocked we may be.
Thank you. Team Mananan. We're going to give all three of our temples a chance to make their pitch, just like Nicole just did. Next, we're going to hear from Team Isis. Team Isis, you probably have something to say about why we ought to choose your deity, don't you?
Oh, yes, we do. If I can get a mic on.
A few things. I see
Well, yes.
Can the scroll be longer?
Oh, of course. There are so many things to say about Isis, but I'll try to stick for a few. So welcome to Temple Isis. All who seek to know and honor Our Lady are welcome here. All genders, all ages, all races, all ethnicities, and all faiths. But I wanted to start with a little background on our glorious goddess. For over 5,000 years, Isis has been called upon by her followers for aid, for protection, for healing, and for abundance. We find her in the pyramid text. Those are the texts that are written on the walls of the ancient pyramids that were built in the Old Kingdom of Egypt around 2686 before the Common Era. What is that? 5,000 years ago. Her worship continues and her power and popularity grow through many periods of Egyptian history and through 30 pharaonic dynasties, which is like not just one pharaoh, that's a lot of pharaohs, 30 of them. She absorbs the aspects and powers of many Egyptian goddesses, primarily Hathor, the cow and solar goddess, associated with love, wine, music, dance, and taking care of people in the afterlife, and also Renenutet, who is the grain and harvest goddess. And she also had powers over the allocation of fate, which was very important to the followers of Isis when Isis had gained that power. When Greek and Macedonian armies of Alexander the Great conquer Egypt in 332 BCE, the worship of Isis grows and changes and begins to spread all across the entire Mediterranean world, even all the way to Britain. It becomes a mystery religion, and Isis becomes the universal goddess, offering love and justice and salvation and a mother's love. And her worship survives the suppression of paganism longer than any other ancient cult, with her temple at Philae remaining active until the 6th century of the Common Era. And after that, her worship goes underground into the iconography and the epithets of the Virgin Mary, things like Mother of God and Queen of Heaven. Those belonged to Isis before Mary had them. And then she returns to herself. In the 19th century, the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn adopts Isis as the all-encompassing personification of feminine divine power. And today she's worshipped in modern pagan and Reconstructionist religions. And in fact, this year is the 50th anniversary of the founding of the Fellowship of Isis. So why should Gaia community have Isis as their patron in 2026? Isis listens and responds to those who call and honor her. We can be confident that when Gaia community or us as individuals ask for her help, she will hear us and respond to our need as she's done for others for thousands of years. And Isis has tremendous power to help. She is the mistress of magic, second only to Thoth in having the greatest amount of Heka, which is essential energy used to create and order the universe. And over that and the magical knowledge of all the deities. She says, I am Isis the wise, the words whose mouth of mine come to pass. She used her powerful magic to resurrect Osiris, and through Osiris, everyone. Isis is a personal, sympathetic, and caring goddess who is happy to rescue those in need. She has experienced suffering for herself, and she wants to save people from theirs. Through her magical powers, as well as her sympathetic nature, Isis is an effective protector. And if we as individuals or Gaia community as a whole need protection, we can call on her. She is a goddess of healing. Medical knowledge and treatment were seen as a specialized branch of magic. And she's a good healer because she's had plenty of experience with her son Horus, who consistently got into a lot of scrapes. He was a sickly child as well, and then he's in constant battles with Seth. She has vast medical knowledge and power, so if we seek healing or strength, Isis is who we can call on. Most importantly, Isis is a god of action. When Seth kills Osiris, she doesn't just sit at home. She goes out, she finds his body, she resurrects it, and then conceives her son Horus. And when Seth finds Osiris again and tears it to pieces, she goes out and finds all the pieces but one, which she then constructs. You know the one. Isis knows, Isis knows how to work with others. She values friendship. She gets help in her search for the pieces of Osiris. She works with her sister Nephthys to resurrect Osiris. She even works with her arch enemy and brother Seth, because every night they sail in the solar bark, protecting Ra, the sun god, and together they fight off Apophis, which is the personification of chaos and darkness and destruction. And that's so the sun can rise again every morning. And she will help us work together to make sure the sun keeps rising. Isis is comfortable with power. Isis and Osiris ruled Egypt and were well loved by their people. She uses her magic and power to maintain right order, ma'at, to keep chaos and negativity at bay. And in her heart, Isis is a wise peacemaker and healer who wants reconciliation as well as justice. And she will help us keep our community strong, loving, active, magical, and promoting of right action.
Thank you, Kitty. Thank you, Team Isis. We now want to hear from the last of our three temples. Why should we choose the Dagda? What does the Dagda offer us, Matt?
The Dagda.
Which side of the Dagda do we see today?
Dagda is the deity who boasts all the skills and powers of every other god in the Celtic world. The old common Celtic version of his name, Dagodewos, roughly translates as the god who is good at everything. So I would honestly, if I were being very flip, answer this question. I challenge you to find a reason we wouldn't choose the Dagda. And something he wouldn't help with. He's self-aware enough of this being good at everything that at the Second Battle of Moytura, the heroes of the Tua de Danann are bragging. They're like, I will call down fire upon them, and I will raise up the waters and drown them, and I will make sure that we have no wounded fighters. And the Dagda, after everyone makes their brags, gets up, grips his staff or club, depending on how you translate the word, and says, everything that has been promised and more I will do. And this is when the legendary King Nuada says, and you are the good god. Meaning, the god who is good at things, not the god who is morally good.
No.
He usually is, but... Things that he is most well known for are associations with generosity that creates abundance, justice and wisdom, and tremendous magical power, including power over the weather and the heavens themselves. In the story of how Angus MacCog is sired, it is said that the Dagda and the Lady Buin conceive him and bring him to term in a single day. Interestingly, in Ireland near midsummer, the sun doesn't really go down for several weeks. There are tales, especially in the Valley of the Boyne, of people working through the night for several weeks. So while a 9-month baby in a single day is a bit of an exaggeration, there's some archaeological reasons we might have that story. This also takes place at a fortress called the Bruna Boyne, and we know this site today as Newgrange. On the morning of the winter solstice, the red Dagda, the red light of dawn, shines directly into the hidden chamber at the center of Newgrange, so that even to this day, the Dagda is reaching to the hidden chamber to impregnate the Lady Buin. Other things that he is known for: hospitality. In ancient Ireland, the power of words was incredibly literal. Satire was said to be able to kill a person. And after the first battle of Moytura, when the Fomor won, the Dagda was oppressed by a satirist called Criden Bell, a blind old fellow who demanded of the Dagda the choicest portion of his ration, or he would satirize the Dagda such that he would lose all his power and authority. This goes on for several months, to the point that it's noted the Dagda begins to look pale and less massive and powerful than before. And his son Angus sees him and says, "Dad, what's going on?" And so the Dagda tells him, and he says, "I have a solution for this." And he hands his father 3 golden coins and says, "These are part of your ration. And since it is gold, it must be the choicest part of your ration, so you will feed this to Creden Bell tonight." The Dagda laughs, and indeed works the golden coins into the best part of the food he is given for the day. Creden Bell eats the coins and dies of gold poisoning. This tells us 2 important things. The first is that hospitality is a gift to be given, not something to be forced or extracted. The second thing it tells us is that sometimes the most powerful weapon you have is the unvarnished, literal truth. He is associated with earth, especially the power to move it. Depending on how passages get translated, he either raises all the great halls of Ireland, raising them out of the earth by force of magic, or constructs them. But when we have the tales of the giving out of the halls, they are the Dagda's to give out because he made them. He's a mighty druid, but like many deities we have had as our patron before, who are druids or aligned with druidry, Brigid, the Morrigan, Lugh, you don't have to approach the Dagda through druidry. I know people in several traditions who work with the Dagda, and it's all valid. I want to take a moment to talk about his harp. It's one of his 3 treasures, and it shows him to be a bard of bards in musical skill. The harp has 2 names: Dor de Blor, meaning of 2 meadows, and Cur Carcor, meaning the rightness of 4 angles. At the end of the second battle of Moytura, when all is said and done, Bress has led a raid to take things from the Tuatha De Danann, and he goes with Lugh and Oma to see what's going on here. And they get there, and the first thing that he sees is his harpist, Watney, and his harp. And he could have been violent about it, and he is a little bit. But what he does is he stretches forth his hand, and he calls, "Come, Dor de Blar, come, Cur Carcor, come summer, come winter, mouths of harps and bags and floods." And then the harp flew out of the wall to his hand, and on its way killed 9 men. He then proceeded to play the 3 musics that one must master and demonstrate to be recognized as a harper. He played the laughing music, such that all who heard it began to rejoice and dance and cavort about. He then played the sorrowful music, so that all who heard it wept and wailed and vented all of the grief that this great battle had brought forth in them. And then he played the sleeping music, and all of the Fomorian host in this raiding party fell asleep. And the 3 heroes of the Tuatha De Danann got away unharmed with everything they came for by the power of music.
Thank you, Team Dagda. All right. So we've heard some initial pitches from everybody, and now we're going to move on to our second round, where we're all going to wrestle a steer. And we're tired of words. Maybe it's time for a little action. Try to shake things up a little bit. And who's going to be the first?
I think we should hear some more from the temple.
Would you rather do that than wrestle a steer?
So, I would like to ask specifically Isis something.
I mean, I guess that's okay. Go ahead.
Is that
Go
okay?
ahead. Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
So, how does the concept of family and right kingship or queen of heaven, how does that really translate to Gaia community, democratic principles?
I have an answer for that. I know a little bit of something about how to play queen. People expect you to be pretty all the time. They expect you to want all the attention, and they expect you to be able to do anything you want to do all the time. And that is not the way it works. Queen is the heart of the realm. The queen is the ultimate servant. Queen who is fully attuned to the task lives the role seriously, meaning that she is the ultimate servant, meaning that she uses wisdom, mercy, healing, and protection folded into every single action, every single impulse, and every decision. The primary motive is caring for her people. All the people, no matter what, no matter where they are, no matter the circumstances, no matter the bearing or the gender or anything else, all the people. In ancient Egypt, Isis was the mistress of the throne. She represented legitimacy and divine favor for all pharaohs. Isis would act autonomously in wielding power, making decisions in government, but that doesn't mean she did it all by herself. The final decisions are hers, but she would find the right people for the job. My dad always said, you don't have to be an expert. You find the right people, and you surround yourself with those people. And you turn them loose and let them do the jobs that you've assigned to them. And you work as a team. You work as you might even say a committee. If she appoints the people that are aligned with Ma'at, how can it help but be a democratic process that's good for everybody? People do things as they should, and the place runs as it should. And what is that but good government? Isis has always changed with the times. She excels at being endlessly adaptable and able to metamorphose into the goddess that each person needs, each community needs. In our communities, we operate with democracy and consensus, and that is fine with her. She is good at working with people. She is good at seeing to the common good of everybody. Ultimately, she is the one who defends and upholds her people. All the people. Every diverse and beloved member. Now, we know how the government has gone with patriarchy for about 250 years, and I think it's time that more women held more areas of leadership. Think of how things could be done differently. And that is what I have to say about that.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Team Isaac.
And I have the cow.
You do.
And that means I get to ask a question, right?
I mean, I guess like they did it, so I guess you can do it.
Okay.
What's your question? What's your question?
My question is this to Mananan. So Isis is the universal goddess of motherhood, and she conceives, she births, she teaches, she protects, she heals her son Horus. So we know Isis's qualifications with children, but what about you? what was it, one foster son? What's your experience with caring for the young?
So we only had 6 minutes. There's a lot of stories about Manon. There are Welsh stories, there's Manx stories, there's Scottish stories, there's Irish stories, there's Breton stories. Manon has his own children. In fact, one of his kids, Mangan, becomes a king in the 6th century, Common Era. But that's not really the point, because I think that's not really the question you're asking. You're asking about experience, about qualifications. Like, anybody can have a kid. Fair. Manannan does foster this guy, this mixed race kid, Lou. We've all heard about him. But one of the things that he does in that story is he knows that he can't just make Lou, I guess it would be Lou Mac Manannan Maclir. He can't just make him a little clone of Manannan. Part of being a parent, part of raising someone is knowing when it's time to let them go. Knowing when it's time to let them move on to their next thing. Because Lou's fate, Lou's destiny is to become all-skilled. And so, Manannan sends him on. He sends him to other people. He sends him to Scatha. He sends him to other trainers so that he can learn all the things he needs to have to be a leader. And Manannan fosters other people. He fosters the children of Deirdre after her drama. It's the short way to say that. Drama, maybe. Deirdre has a lot going on, and her kids need a safe place to be. And Manannan has this island. He has the Fae Faida. And he says, bring them here, they'll be safe, I will take care of them. Because this fosterage system, this idea, he finds Lou because Baylor throws him out the window.
Perfectly good baby.
Perfectly good baby, bouncing in the waves. It's like, hey, great. Deirdre offers her children up to his safety, to his patronage, to his fosterage. But fosterage is more than that. It's not just safety, it is that. It's not just learning, it is that. But fosterage is this system. It's a network. It's a system where families share with each other. So I don't think it's coincidental that most fosterage systems happen in Northern Europe, where the weather is crap a lot of the time, certainly back then. And the ground is rocky, and you can trade cattle, resources. You can sometimes do it voluntarily, sometimes you do it because you're bored, sometimes you do it because you're going to get a really good story out of it. But fosterage is this system where, okay, now we're family. Now I have a reason not to take the ultimate step when you piss me off. Because you're going to piss me off, because that's what family does. That's what your neighbors do. But if they're family, if you're networked, then everybody benefits. Everybody gets a little more out of the deal. A lot of times these foster kids would go with a couple cattle. And while the foster kid is there, those cattle interbreed with the cattle of the foster family, and they split all the offspring. So both sides get more out of it. I think if you have Christian friends, this is like godparents, right? It's the same deal. They're not necessarily family, but now they're family. Now they're intertwined with you like a vine, like a rope, like a braided rope. And Gaia community is that. Gaia community interweaves its families, its people, its resources, its benefits, its children. All these things come together in this community to make everything stronger. So I think that answers your question.
Okay, thank you very much. I think we can move.
I have one more question.
You've got.
You started this round,
All right.
the Temple of Dagda, with a question about leadership. You spent a lot of time in your stories talking about being the king of the gods, Dagda being the king of the gods. And, you know, we don't like kings so much these days. It is a very specific style of leadership. And in modern times, we know there's a lot of different styles that are possible. And in particular, Gaia community uses the consensus process. So how do you think Dagda would benefit us within the context of the consensus process specifically?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question. You still have leaders in a consensus process. It's not a paternal or a top-down decision-making form, but we have the president who is overseeing the agenda and the procedure and moves the meeting from topic to topic. Speaking of topics, there is a wielder of the spatula that keeps us on a particular topic, and a vibes watcher to monitor the emotional states of everyone who is attending so that everyone is centered on community unity. Kings in ancient or mythic Ireland, I think it's important to understand there were lots of them at the same time, and they had relatively small areas that they were in charge of. So to say, I'm a king in ancient Ireland is really more like what we would conceive of as a mayor or a county executive than what we think of in modern terms of kingship. And that's why we see stories where there might be 5 different kings who have all brought their armies to the field of battle in Ireland. But the role of a king is also, especially for the Dagda, heavily associated with the notion of geshi, which are binding ritual taboos. And these require that a ruler lives a particular kind of life in order to maintain right relations between the people and the other world. And highest among these bindings is the Fir Flataman, or the king's truth, which holds that so long as a king is honest and true in their judgments of the land, the people will flourish. And a selfish leader who makes false accusations or speaks falsely or says things that everyone knows are not true but expects them to go along with it anyway, brings about ruin to both land and people. Upholding geshi, such as this one, allows for a state of balance, justice, and peace, known as queer. And you can consider queer pretty similar to the Kemetic notion of ma'at. There is a right order to the universe, and the higher your particular social standing, the more responsibility is upon you to make sure that the universe is not being pulled apart. So the other big role that we see for the Dagda, besides as a king, is as a briugu, or a hostel keeper. And this was a position of both tremendous importance and tremendous privilege in ancient Ireland. A briugu was required to give hospitality to everyone who visited his hostel. This is shelter, this is food and drink. They were exempt from military levies from the local king, and they were recognized as an arbiter in local disputes. So to be a briugu, a person needed to be significantly wealthy in both land and cattle, and be able to manage those things well so that whoever comes to visit, there's enough meat, there's enough dairy, there are enough grains, and they need to provide good food. They need to be a good cook. A briugu is also someone who's going to be used to listening to multi-sided arguments, taking advice from others, and seeking a solution that restores a unity of community. So in this role of a hospitaller, hearing everyone out, providing some hospitality, and working to find a solution that will do the most good for all involved so that peace and queer can return, I think the Dagda will be an excellent aid in our consensus process.
Nice. Thank you very much. We have a question from online. Oh, a question from online, all right. How do you spell queer?
No, not the one with the Q, the other one.
We know that.
Yes. The Irish one, which in some dialects I think is also pronounced core, is C-O sharp accent I-R.
Thank you. This is very educational around here. You get cattle rating and linguistics.
Okay, so I have to, we have to ask a question of Manana now. So you have talked about the various tales of Manana being all over the Isles and stuff. Well, in Wales specifically, I seem to remember in the lore, him going around with Rhiannon, and he tries to start a small nation, and and then he decides to settle down and have the good life and become a craftsman and make golden shoes. But, and so on and so forth, and none of this really turns out for him. So, how exactly will that lore teach Gaia community to not fall into a labor failure loop?
All right, that's a good question. Temple of Manana. You want to take this one? Yeah. All right.
What, like a god can't have hobbies?
Who among us does not have hobbies?
Right,
My hands down.
right. But the heart of your question, I think, is perfection's a hell of a drug, isn't it? When I think back to, honestly, my military days, if I was ever doing everything perfectly, I was wrong. Because that meant I wasn't taking risks. If you don't fail, you're not trying enough that's new. If you're not failing, you're not learning. Right? So, pop psychology aside, I think it's really interesting that Mannanan does not pretend to be a god who's perfect. He does not pretend to be a god who is good at everything.
Who's pretending?
If he doesn't know, if there's something he doesn't know and you need to know it, he's going to take you to the people who can teach you that. Right? And I think that speaks to the heart of how we can expect Mannanan to engage with us. That he's going to be passionate about learning and failing and trying again. A ship in harbor is safe, but that is not what ships are for. Right? I'm sorry. So I would invite you instead to think of, in a circumstance of labor failure, that none of that energy is lost. It's not a loop. It's a spiral. Ever growing, ever expanding, like the universe that we find ourselves in. Mannanan wants to know, are you aiming high enough? Are you daring boldly? Are you in love deeply with all those possibilities? How does the motto go? Per aspera ad astra. Through hardship to the stars.
All right. Yeah, I heard a clang, a definitive clang. I see someone else has stolen a cow from their neighbors. That's what happens when you invite a bunch of
You asked
deities from
for
cattle raiding
cow
cultures.
We're just reinterpreting your wish.
All right. So I suppose that means you have a question as well, yeah? All right, go ahead.
So I have a question for Isis, Temple of Isis. So a lot of the myths about Isis are really sort of focused on what she does for other people, what she's doing in relationship to Horus and to Osiris, and even when she's on the bark, she's helping Ra get through the night. But what's her story here? I mean, you're unfortunately already outnumbered. You have 2 Irish Celtic deities here. You got 2 guys with 3 legs apparently here.
That's their problem.
No judgment, like
Yeah.
whatever. But I want to hear a little bit more about what's Isis' story. Like, what's the feminine angle here? What's her own power and magic here?
All right.
Oh, do I have an answer for you? I was telling a friend about this, and she said, well, one of these things is not like the others. Not like we're not used to that, right? Not being of the overwhelming culture is something that Isis is very good at. You have to learn how to get along. You have to learn, compromise has gotten to be sort of a bad word. But if you can find what you have in common with others, even if it's simple as you love children, you love your home, those are bases on which relationships can grow and understanding can grow. And that's really important right now. One of the things about Isis that we haven't mentioned is that she has lots of festivals. She likes to have fun. She likes to party. And hard work is necessary, but you have to also be able to relax and kick back and party with your friends and your family of choice. The myths of Isis show her in relationship with gods and goddesses of Egypt. But she works well with everybody else as well. If you're looking for common ground, you can learn how to do that. I didn't say it was easy, but it's important work. Isis understands this and lived it herself. She knows that working cooperatively with others to get things done is important. And that in no way diminishes her own magic and power and the fly. The ancient texts say Isis was a wise woman, more smart than an infinite number of gods. There was nothing she was ignorant of in heaven or in earth, which means that she had to know people. There's nothing like sitting down and sharing a meal or a drink with somebody and being actively interested and listening to them. That is a major part of governance, is listening to people, finding out where they're at and what they need and how to solve those problems. Isis is great magic. She uses it to maintain right order, ma'at, to keep chaos and negativity at bay. She uses it to help people, to enfold them in health and protection. After Thoth, she was considered to have the most heka, the essential energy which flows between the sacred and secular world and between objects and people, one of the basic powers that was used to create and order the universe. She shared some of her unending supply of heka with her son Horus to help him with his battles with Seth. She uses her power to help those who call on her, which means she will listen and she will answer. Isis is considered the universal mother goddess. At Alexandria, Isis had a temple dedicated to her in her role as protector of pregnant women. She cares deeply for children. She's the patroness of motherhood and children, fiercely revered for sacrificing everything to raise, shield, and heal her son Horus. She is that place where the Maker fashioned them. They are neither male nor female, for the difference of sex arises in bodies and not in intercorporeal beings. She will be delighted to support the growth of the children's realm that Gaia has. To Isis, all the people are her children.
I have a question.
I'm astonished.
So Isis has lots and lots of magic. She's really good at it. What I don't understand is what is the Dagda doing with a cauldron? Wasn't that goddess named Caradwin's work?
All right.
Aaron, pull my finger. And that's my opinion on gender essentialism and magical tools. There's a lot of Celtic gods with a cauldron. Dian Cecht has a cauldron, sometimes called a spring. It heals people, even up to bringing them back from the dead. Welsh myth purports a tale of an Irish king with a cauldron that will restore the dead to life, but they've lost the power of speech. Several gods among the continental Celts have a cauldron, but why does the Dagda have a cauldron? The short answer is the Tuatha De Danann came from 4 great cities of the north, and the Dagda came from a city called Murias, and the great treasure of Murias was a cauldron that never runs empty. And not only does it never run empty, but all who approach it find that which will please them best in the amount that they need. And this is what he brought with him. So he has a cauldron because it's essentially part of himself and his identity. It's a strange and 20th century notion that you wouldn't find a man who cooks or makes tinctures or brews beer or a host of other things you might find a person doing over a really big pot. And as far as the Celtic peoples are concerned, the notion of the cauldron as a representation of the womb magically is also a pretty modern idea.
Yeah.
So, as we said to Team Mannanan earlier, the Dagda was a hospitaller, and not just any hospitaller. He was acknowledged as the Rig Brigade, or the chief hostel keeper of the land. So if every hostel keeper has to provide hospitality and food and shelter and comfort to any who come their way, imagine how much the hostel keeper of hostel keepers has to be able to do. So of course he has a cauldron, and of course it's an incredibly powerful cauldron. It's said when his hostel is described that in addition to this cauldron that is never empty, there is perpetually meat from a choice pig roasting nearby, always ready. Pigs are a really big deal in the ancient Celtic world. In the Mabinogion, they're a gift specifically of the other world at a time of famine. But here are these pigs, and they can eat basically anything, and they will keep you fed. So to have pork abundantly and fresh and ready for you all the time was, of course, this god is incredibly powerful. He's always got pork, man. In addition to being a symbol of status, his cauldron being such a big part of his identity and of his origin, he is identified with the cauldron in part because he is known as Yoched Olater, the ample father. And the ability to make sure none go away unsatisfied is crucial to being the ample father to all who approach his table.
Yeah. All right, thank you so much.
Say that into a microphone.
Yeah, with comments?
It kind of sounds like caring for the earth and each other.
But with barbecue. So, all right. Yeah, if you've been smelling something really tasty smelling, it might be what's going on over here. Which is an excellent segue, actually, because I think we've run out of time for roping and steer wrestling and all that kind of business. But now is the time when we can invite you all to come up and chat with our temple representatives. If you have individual questions that you want to ask them, you can chat with folks. If you want to make an offering of your cattle at this time to one or more of the temples here, you can do that at this time. They have hospitality for you. Each temple has a little treat, a little something for anyone who comes in. Yeah, some of them have a couple of treats. Do you guys want to just really quickly, what hospitality is your temple offering today? Well, starting with Doug, because I'm standing right here.
This is vegan pulled short pork, which is another word for jackfruit. So it's a vegan pulled jackfruit.
We have, well, you have to.
Yeah. We have behind me tea and goblets that you can actually drink out of. And we have honey cakes that are gluten-free. And we also have figs.
And what kind of tea is it?
It is, I forgot.
It's called passion tea, and it's primarily hibiscus.
And blood orange as well. So,
We have saltwater taffy. And did you have compasses? Our other gift is something you take with you on your journeys. These are tiny compasses that will carabiner clip to your waist.
And do you have a gift for cattle?
Yes, so the other thing that's going on, did you talk about this earlier? About the cattle tokens?
I did.
So give us cattle tokens, get a compass, get some saltwater taffy if you like. But I will be recording how much you give, so please don't just like throw them in the bin. Because whoever gives our temple the most will get this scarf, which is alleged to have anti-surveillance properties. It has some partial faces and things like that on it that confuse digital analysis.
It's like a veil.
So it's the Fey Fiata right there in the modern term. And
facial recognition.
yes, and there is a tote to put it and anything else in, also on your journeys. Good.
Temple Isis, what do you have for your giver of cattle?
We have a beautiful statue of Our Lady here for the person who gives us those cattle tokens. And yes, and
Yes.
that is it.
And,
there is a box, so you can take it home safely.
Beautiful. Temple Dagda, what do you have for your cattle donors?
We have an set. It lovingly has the tree on it as well as the symbol for. And it comes in a nice little carved box.
Excellent. We've got about 15 minutes here for folks to come up and visit the temples, get hospitality gifts, give cattle, and ask questions if you have questions to ask. So come on up whenever you are ready. If you're joining us online, if you have questions, we will carry those to the temples for you. Ah, yes, and we have kid offerings from Zaylin. Come on up.
Come on up.
Do you want to talk about what you got?
Yeah, you want to talk about them, Zayla?
Yeah.
Do you want to have a microphone to talk about what you got?
You want to do it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Here,
Take the mic.
hang on to that.
Come on up to the front.
And come on up in the front so the camera can see you too.
Yes. Okay. So who's first? You talking to your microphone? Are you nervous?
No.
Okay, go for it.
This one is Isis.
Yep.
And this one is the water god.
Is it
I don't remember her name.
Mononon? Yes. Mononon? Let's not fall into the fire.
Yeah, don't fall into the fire.
Hey, they're waterproof though, right? And
Yes.
here we have Dagda.
Diane, would you like to take each and put them with the gods they belong to? So Isis is the beautiful beautiful temples ladies over there.
Over here.
Isis would be here. She could go next to our statue.
Here we have Isis.
This one's not
And
Isis.
that's the Dagda.
This one?
Patron guy.
This one?
That one. I gave him. Cool. Thank you so much.
We worked our little fingers off with hot glue guns.
Yes.
You want some treats? Want to get some of those?
Yeah.
Those are not treats. I would have absolutely eaten those. Here's treats.
Gluten-free honey cakes.
Everybody go where you like.
The honey cakes. Yes, they do.
Good job, kiddo.
I have
She did
Pepsi
amazing.
and I can
Oh, very nice.
She's been working in there 2 hours nonstop.
That's awesome.
Thank you for doing such good work. This is an I think you already explained most of it,
Anybody want tea? I've heard that's here.
Yeah, I can wait for the line. Yeah, yep.
Take a seat.
Yeah, I know.
A married couple saw you across the ritual circle. Like your vibe.
That's a lot harder than it looks.
Yeah.
Actors used to be related to Ragnar. I was waiting for her to. Oh yeah. I was gonna talk about, but I ran out of time. It is so great. This staff is so big that when you're dragging it behind, it marks off a county border. Yes. The other one. Oh yeah. Literally, yeah, it wasn't that.
There's another. It might just be all this and then we've got there's like a takedown. So yeah, you should look at it, but. Yeah, I can tell you're which is also why I said it can be slapdash, because
You want your place freedom and I thought,
that exact
that do what you want.
That's exactly.
Here's the key points.
Excuse me, Devin.
Here's what we like to include. Here's what this meeting's about. We run with it.
I'm so glad because it does really help. We, even though
Kimberly.
One so much. Kimberly, please. You're being so neat.
They're over here?
Sorry, I was getting a cookie.
My tools.
It smells good. All right, so it's fine. Okay, so you should have.
Yeah. So real quick, Karen Aurelia, one to each tone.
Yeah, that's my answer too. Yeah.
It's good.
Please drink tea.
Makes sense.
Thank you. It looks like
Any more?
Yeah, Julian. Distribute evenly within your remainder going.
Coming this way.
We have so much time.
I am back on station. Did we have anything from online?
Yes, and it's been taken care of.
Oh, okay, cool. No questions.
Correct.
Okay.
Anybody else want tea?
Yes.
What is with all the perfectly good babies being thrown away?
I know.
Just
They have no flavor at all.
Yes, exactly.
Despite the fact that you always nice.
Yes. I'm not a devotee.
No!
She
This
just
is the Morgan.
tells me I have to do things sometimes.
I made my mistake. I'm gonna kill this. Well, basically set up a chest.
Why are you doing martial arts?
Same.
Derek is doing it. First handle,
From the people who asked, I can keep a taste of it. Is doing what she says. While they're at that entrance, and looking around and kind of like, yeah, you're building
Tried to make the great hammers and he got so distracted he only made very destroyed.
Come on, I feel like it's done something.
Said that chaos.
Where you go?
Oh, yeah. They're very similar.
Three consecutive hours.
Learning.
Yeah. Actually, I don't know.
As everyone is finishing up, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna borrow his attention for a minute. As everyone's finishing up, I'm gonna come around and hand you a QR code. This QR code is for our vote. If you scan this, it will take you directly to the ballot. You want to make sure you get your vote in by 5
Listen
o'clock
up,
next
everybody.
Sunday. And I'll repeat that.
Okay.
These are for the ballot. This is, if you want to hang on to that. Do you want to vote? You can vote. They're getting it online, they're getting it directly.
We have a week to vote.
Yeah, we have a week to vote. Yes, it's going to be on the Discord and the Facebook as soon as we're finished here. Okay.
I've gotten different views.
Would you like to?
Basically, we're leaving one static and then one sort of dynamic. If your decision is made up.
If you know who you want to.
Thank you. Are you done?
Not right now. No.
We should do this small.
No, not
See if you can expect that you had some like approved it to Facebook.
We can. So it is a ranked choice. So, it's not like just one. I mean, you
If you're not familiar with how we do this, this is a ranked choice vote, so you will get to rank all 3 candidates in order of your preference. The interface on this is just like a drag and drop, so you'll just grab the one you like best and float them to the top of the list and so on and so forth. And we will announce our new patron at the end of next week's.
And we'll put the recording up if you need to go back to any piece of it, or people who are here.
Yeah, this will
Put
be
it
on our
up for a
YouTube
week,
channel.
right?
Yes, we'll see this on our YouTube channel, if you need to review or for folks. Thank you all. I also want to pass around our offering leaf. In the offering leaf, there is another QR code that is for a link to support us, to make gifts of money to the community. Most of our folks do a recurring pledge, but if you would like to make an offering, that's a way to do it. Also in the leave, you will find a flyer that tells you what's coming up next for the next few weeks. So pass that around while we all snack.
And what's coming up next week?
What is coming up next week?
I think that's a
SOS. I was trying to understand. It is our 4th of July SOS, I believe. So next week, if you show up, we will be co-creating a ritual on the spot with whoever shows up and whatever it is that they want to do ritual about. This is also kind of a fun and chaotic experience if you've not been to one. But it gives you the opportunity to do some magical work or do some spiritual work that has to do with whatever your needs of the day are. And that's going to be next week. Yeah.
Notably for what this week is not, it is not ritual themes on Friday.
Ah.
Because Friday is the 3rd of July, which is awfully close to the 4th of July, so we always move July to the second week. So the rituals,
Yeah,
or you
ritualists.
just want to talk about our rituals, it will be on the, whatever that is, the 11th.
Yeah, check your calendar because your expectation will probably be incorrect. Ritualists, our ritual team meeting is the second week this month. Do we have any other announcements? Yeah.
On July 11th, we will be volunteering at the Pet Resource Center, Kansas City. We will be helping them with their pantry, their pet food pantry on Saturday. At 1:30, we will be there to help set up the pantry because the pantry goes from 2 to 4. So we will be there to help them set up and hopefully for as long as they need us or whatever. The thing is, to volunteer with them, they care about their volunteers. So they really would like your email address. And I can just give you the email address of the volunteer coordinator who is helping us with this. His name is Connor. He's really great. And he is excited to have people helping. So if you can help on July 11th, it will be outside mostly. There is a chance to go indoors if you need to, though. It is wheelchair accessible. And the only real requirement is that you have to wear closed-toed shoes because you don't want things dropping on you. So if you can help with that, let me know or, yeah.
Post it on social media.
Yeah, I posted on the social media too, so.
Awesome. Thank you so much for arranging that. Hopefully we'll see a lot of participation on the 11th. Are there any other announcements? Then I think it's time for the temples to give their gifts, and I don't have what order we're supposed to do this in, so we're going to start it with Team Mananan.
David did the counting. David did the counting.
Yes, okay. So, as I mentioned, we have this scarf and a tote for Steve and Dina. Thank you so much for participating in our little cattle game, cattle drive. Not the cattle raid, which is the thing we did amongst each other. It's just cow jokes all the way down.
That was really cool, man. I covered that scarf. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I can tell you where to get it.
So, the Temple of Isis is delighted to give this statue to Tristan, who is doing tech.
That's service, that is.
And for Team Dagda, here you go. We have Victoria is our winner.
Happy reading. Those are so cool.
Yeah, everybody's hits are very cool this year. Thank you, Temples. Thank you for everybody who came and participated in our cow game. I hope that was fun.
Not the first rodeo.
We are, even though it's not our first rodeo, we are still trying to figure out new and interesting ways to do what we do and put a little play in things. So thank you all for participating in that. It is that time, though, when we must say thank you to the deities and powers that we have called in and close our space. And I think that also will begin with Team Mananan.
You can stand or sit as you like, but I would like you to repeat after me. And I promise, almost all this is in English. As the ink dark sky turns like a wheel above, gather us, foster father, and cradle us in the night sea. ebb and flow, care and woe alike. Softened by the grace of your faith, Vida.
Ever protective guardian. Sweet, swift in your chariot and certain of your aim. Teach us to reach for destiny without fear of failure. And to pay our rent with acts of care and service.
Shield and sword, harp and hazel. Remind us of our strengths. So that we may be equal to our challenges. Until we are called to set sail for the land of promise.
Hail and farewell, Mannanan.
We thank you, Lady Isis. Yes, please. That would be wonderful. Thank you. We thank you, Lady Isis. The Queen of Egypt in its entirety. The Mother who heals the world. The Great One in heaven, the Powerful One on earth. The Primordial One who created the first time. And all good things which you share with those you love. Hail to you, Isis, great of magic. The great oracle who arrived at the beginning. And the oracle who announces what will happen in the future. May the future you see include a closer relationship with Gaia community. Hail Isis.
First dot auction where there was a quiz at the end.
Give me the answers.
It's an open book test.
Those are always the hardest.
She needs to get it.
Oh, yes.
My apologies.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wielder of the club. Of life and death. Player of the harp of seasons. Cauldron keeper of plenty. We thank you for joining us today. We ask that your blessings stay with us regardless as to whether or not you are with Gaia community. You don't have to repeat that. May your wisdom guide us. May your cauldron remind us to care for the earth and each other.
May your cauldron remind us to care for the earth and each other.
And may the sun shine on us all. Hail and farewell the Dagda.
We have two more thanks to give. You guys don't have to repeat these. But we do thank and acknowledge Hecate, whose time as our patron of the year is almost done. Hecate, Lady of Magic, Mistress of the Crossroads, Lady at the edges of all things, who moves between all of the worlds, unfettered, unrestricted. We thank you for your guidance, for your wisdom, for being with us, being near to us in this past year. Hail Hecate.
Hail Hecate.
And Gaia, our Mother Earth, our firm foundation, who is with us always, we thank you for your support, for your nurturance, for your care, for your reminder to care for the earth and each other. Hail Gaia.
Hail Gaia.
And now, I would ask you, if you can, to stand. We're going to say some quick words.
Where's the camera screen? There.
To welcome those folks, bring those folks in. We're here on Zoom. It's not really a circle. It's not even like a circle. It's sort of It's a web. The interconnected web of all existence of which we are a part.
It might even be worldwide.
So let's say some quick words together. The circle is open but unbroken.
The circle is open but unbroken.
May the peace of the goddess go in our hearts.
May the peace of the goddess go in our hearts.
And the dance of the god enliven our days.
And the dance of the gods enliven our days.
Well, we're not tired of this one yet. And may we care for the earth and each other.
And may we care for the earth and each other.
Because our lives depend on it.
Because our lives depend on it.
Merry meet.
Merry meet.
Merry
part.
part.
And merry meet again. Woo!
Pictures of all the temples.
All right.
You forgot to do that.
Nobody move!
Is the cow fell over?